See, that's the thing. You realize shit. I just went back to like 3 years, like when the Obama fucking thing happened with Skip Gates and confusing progress with the progression of time. And I actually quoted Harriet Tubman when she supposedly said, "I'd have freed more slaves than if they actually knew they were slaves." And I didn't even go to check that shit because it supported my motherfucking goddamn position. I mean, I also utilized the Willie Lynch letter at times as a reference until I found out it wasn't true, and I had to revise, that line of thought. Because Harriet Tubman never said that shit. Harriet Tubman never said that if I would have freed more slaves if they knew they were slaves. I mean, it's still actually, but it's appropriate. I mean, it's appropriate. She probably would have freed more slaves if they knew they were slaves, in the sense that they didn't fit. And it's not like slaves didn't know they were slaves. It's the fact that they didn't understand. They were brainwashed into thinking that they had to be slaves. Not that so much that black people thought that they were slaves, but black people thought that there was nothing else available to them but being slaves. Like really right now. I mean, a lot of black people don't think anything else is available to them, anything else is possible to them, except for fucking goddamn second class citizenship. Just like, I mean, it's still applicable at the end of the war in 1864. And I wasn't really talking about the Skip Gates thing. I was, but I wasn't. I think that was just like an extension of it. But in 1864, our percentage of wealth was the same as it is now. So there was there's a viewpoint that's very valid as far as the there and then in relationship to the here and now. That is, if we continue to keep the mentality that we developed in the there and then and continue to perpetuate it into the here and now, we're going to continue being in the condition that we were in the there and then. So we as black people really need to start thinking about, you know what I'm saying, what exactly we want our future to look like. And even this idea of like eventually amalgamating or assimilating into not the larger but the dominant, European culture, both genetically and medically, which constitutes our ethnicity, is kind of like detrimental to us as an amalgamated ethnicity. Because we would still get, the dominant features. We would still have the dominant motherfucking, the dominant physiological features. We'd still have the dominant physiological characteristics standing out. But we would still have the inferiority complex associated with these particular features. So, therefore, the psychology would persist. So, like, people thinking of this idea that if we all start having sex and shit, and having a bunch of mixed babies, that somehow racism is going to run, you know what I'm saying? It's going to disappear, and America's going to be a beautiful, amalgamated fucking country as a result of it. It's preposterous. Based upon the fact that we still would have these dominant features that would be considered abnormal. So those features would eventually dominate the fucking, you know what I'm saying, the population. The unfavorable features would eventually dominate the fucking populace, and because they're the dominant features based on dominant alleles, so they eventually be the dominant within the population. Kind of like Philip K. Dick's vision of the future and the original fucking Blade Runner. But, that's on us for, like, sooner or later, this problem is going to have to be addressed. It'd be better if it was addressed sooner than later, because the later that you address this problem, the more of an impact it's going to actually have on the whole populace. And it's something you can't escape. This reality about race is unescapable. This differentiation in ethnicities is unescapable. This the actual nature of our genetic makeup is unescapable, or inescapable. We can't escape this reality, and it's insanity to try to. And that's what we really are trying to do: escape this reality. Black folks don't want to deal with being black because they don't want to deal with the second hand class citizenship that comes along with being black and the stress that's associated with it. So want to do as much as they can to either disassociate themselves from black or push against those resistances that make it difficult to be black. That's what you're gonna get. Whatever black is, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the society defines as black in relationship to culture and ethnicity. And then, the differentiation between culturally black and ethnically black. And then being a American national citizen, a citizen of the nation of America, are exclusively different things that have to actually come together in order for one to function in America. So you have to bring together this ethnic black, this cultural black, and this American nationality into under one blanket that don't necessarily, or one umbrella, which don't all fit under that same umbrella. So there's this conflict that's occurring under this umbrella. So that this undercurrent that cannot be escaped. You cannot just be like, well, we're just going to act like race is not an issue, which is the Euro American ethnic reaction. Oh, we're just going to act like racism doesn't exist. It's not real. It's and if we bring it up, it's called reverse racism. And then the African American or the cultural black and ethnic black have to have this battle between how far am I going to take my cultural blackness to go along with my ethnic blackness, and what actually defines my cultural blackness in relationship to my ethnic blackness, and how much can I escape my ethnic blackness by escaping cultural blackness? I can't. Because those things that make me ethnically black will always make me ethnically black, even if I do not acknowledge, or even if I do not engage in what makes me culturally black. You socially see me because then there's social black, which is associated with both ethnic black and cultural black, meaning a white person can act culturally black and be recognized for being acting culturally black, and even be ostracized for it. But they can also drop the cultural blackness and not have to deal with the ethnic blackness. But an ethnic black person can drop the cultural blackness and still be demonized for the ethnic blackness. So what is that? You know what I'm saying? And then other cultures can adapt the cultural blackness, but don't have to deal with ethnic blackness. And when it suits them, they can drop the ethnic blackness and the cultural blackness, and live whatever ethnicity they're in. And everybody appropriates the cultural blackness and then redefines it as they want to redefine it in the limited scope that it only applies to ghetto behavior, that cultural blackness has no scope beyond the ghetto or beyond negative stereotypes or criminally associated stereotypes, what I'm saying, and so forth. So I mean, it's an issue which has to be addressed because it's there in your face, and it's the dynamics of it are so prevalent within our society that there's no escaping it. So I'm one of those niggas that's talking about I'm gonna keep on fucking pushing that shit until it breaks. That's where I'm at.